Good morning. So what
Good
today
morning.
we're going to be covering is we're going to talk about some of
Sorry.
our recent returns that we've had that came through
Yes.
our store, and in all of the on each of those cases we've actually disputed them,
Our
and then
title.
why. Yes. And then we have 14 items going out, so we will talk about those as well. But my name is Aaron,
I'm Amber.
and we are full-time resellers. Go live Monday through Thursday most of the
You
time,
totally
but
don't want
not
me to say it,
this
right?
not this
You
Thursday.
gotta fight
No,
for your right to fight returns.
so bad. Um, so first return that we're going to talk about is a somewhat just normal one that I would say you got to make sure you check. So in this case, we got a Blu-ray that came back saying that there was an issue when they tried to play it.
Good morning,
We
Daisy.
accept the return. The return comes back, and while this is what, like, when you get the return back to
Right.
process it, test it, see if there
Mm-hmm.
was an issue with it, because this is going to have a negative impact on your store, which I
Yeah.
think is the number one aspect. Why do you fight returns? These have negative impacts on your store
Yes.
if you have a higher return rate, and if you are not at fault and there was not an issue with the return or
Right.
the item that you sent, then why are you getting dinged for it? And then why
Shouldn't
is
be.
somebody else just going to get their money back and they're going to have no
Mm-hmm.
issues with their return?
Mm-hmm.
So we tested this Blu-ray, and my kids love Wallace and
They
Gromit,
love
so
it.
it took no issues
Yes.
to try to
Please
say, "Hey,
watch this.
boys, can you watch this?" I had them
Yeah.
watch all of the scenes, the whole
All of the
thing,
bonuses.
all the bonuses things, and they were like, "Yeah, there was no issues, no skipping, no nothing." So yeah, we're gonna fight it.
Yes.
So ultimately, in this case, when you go, it'll give you an option when you process your return. You can click issue with return, I think,
Okay.
or report buyer or something like
Yeah.
that. It's one below except like
But
process return or
right.
whatever. And then in this case, I would select
Did it say like
disagree with reason for
recent?
return,
Okay.
and then you can put your dialogue and just say like received the Blu-ray back, fully
Tested.
tested and had no issues with it whatsoever. I have no
Mm-hmm.
problem accepting this
Yeah,
back as a
if you
return.
regret buying it, that's fine, but you're
I
not,
am
I'm
not
not
paying for
taking
shipping.
the
Yeah.
deduction on my account for it.
So I gave the refund for the price of the item, which was
Right.
$14.99, but I am not giving back the
Shipping.
shipping cost,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is part of the reason why somebody could buy this, watch the
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
and then want to use you as a free blockbuster,
Right.
and then ship it back and get
Mm.
their money back. Not today.
Yeah.
And I'm
Not
going
because
to.
it literally will hurt our
It
business.
will hurt our business and hurt our story
So
because of
this
our
is
return
not
rate.
just Amazon,
So I'll be
which
relisting
they
this
get hurt too.
today because it is a perfectly fine, fully tested Blu-ray, and I
Yes.
will even put in the title
Fully
"tested."
tested twice. No.
No, we didn't test it the first time
Yeah.
because there was no scratches or issues. So that
Yes.
was another
Totally
thing is when
clean.
I get the return, I'm looking at the
Yeah.
disc that it's like, this disc looks flawless. What are we talking about?
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that's another benefit to
Oh.
why I like Blu-rays as in a whole, because the material that they
Mm-hmm.
use
It's strong.
is like strong and it's super easy to
Yeah.
clean and make it look super sharp. So
Yeah.
it's hard to damage a Blu-ray.
Another thing I've seen other sellers do, which we haven't gotten to this point, but we did, say we were doing it. People will put a marking on their items that they ship out with like a black light pin.
Yeah.
And so when they get the item back, they can take out their black light, know where they marked their item, and make sure they're sending back the item that
Yeah.
they sent. We take really good pictures. We haven't yet started marking, but if we keep getting a bunch of returns, especially with media, like they could literally swap out. But our pictures
Yeah, our pictures are really
are
good.
so good. So that's like our, saving grace.
Yep.
We
Correct.
we use as many pictures as we can, really.
Yep.
And then, but if that's another option, mark your item when they get it back. Tell them like, hey, I'm gonna look for my marking on it, and then if it works out, I'll send you a refund. But if it's not, then you got something shady going on.
Yep. And then so the next return we had was, you guys saw us sell this big set. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look up this set on Amazon, for example, it sells for over $200. It's going to have all these things included in it.
Right.
So what happened in this case is the potential buyer reached out to me.
Yes. Is it? I sell mainly clothing. Most of my returns are for fit, even though I provide measurements.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say I have no issues with forfeit or
Right.
something like
Because
that.
it doesn't hurt your store.
It's when they come back and they say
Item not as described.
Yeah, and they try to say like you had something wrong in your. No, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually had a clothing return, or they wanted to return it because they said it wasn't.
It wasn't actually a large,
Right.
even though it says it was a large, and
Yeah.
they said it was shrunk or something like that.
Yeah, and
And
I
then-
said, well, you can send it back and I'll remeasure it because I have my tape measure pictures in here to make sure like
Yep.
you did not shrink it in your dryer
Yeah.
and then blame me.
Yep.
So they never did send it back. But because we had the pictures and we, crossed our T's, dotted our I's, like either they shrunk it and they're not getting a refund because they damaged my item, or I'm going to prove that my measurements were accurate and they're lying about the return.
Yep.
So either way they sent it back, it was not going to be beneficial to them and they never did send it back.
Yep. So this one was a brand new sealed copy of this thing. Again, sells for on Amazon for over $200. We sold it for $170 plus shipping on ours. The buyer reached out to me and asked, is this a book? And I said, there is a book in it. Please see picture 5,
Right.
where I basically show like the program.
yeah.
So it does have a book.
Yeah. It shows what's included. Even a picture shows what's included.
And it's got a study guide
Yeah.
and, syllabus
Yeah.
that's included in that particular book. But it also has like a DVD and CD set
Yeah.
or whatever for the whole thing. Needless to say, the person gets it and they are like pissed off, like crazy, talking about how they could get this for $40 on Amazon. First of all,
Lie.
okay, lie. You can't do that. Maybe the syllabus you can get for $40. I don't know. The point is like the buyer was not very.
They were upset.
They were vicious. I would almost get they were like, you said this was a book. You said
Very
blank, blank, blank.
accusatory.
And I was like, look, I will accept it as a return, but
Right.
if you have opened the item, I cannot provide a full refund.
Right.
Because now that this item is now used, I
Yeah.
can't get the same amount of money that I would have gotten
Right.
otherwise. And they didn't respond to that message. They ended up sending it as a return through the
Through
system,
eBay.
and they sent it as item not as described.
Right.
Okay,
hurts
which
your
again
account.
would hurt our store
Yes.
because we did not describe our item well. Well, we take great pictures
Yes.
of the item. I explained in the listing. It
It
says,
literally has DVD video.
and it says
DVDs.
DVD in the
It's
listing.
wild.
And so it had all that stuff in the listing as well as in the description.
Right.
And then you had the pictures. And then when they reached out, it's like the whole thing is like, how is this on us?
Right.
At the end of the day, like you made a mistake as a buyer, and you're trying to guilt us and then damage our store.
Right.
So you know what? We're going to fight. We're going to
We're
fight.
taking this
Those are
to
fighting
eBay.
words.
We're using their abilities to refute your refund.
Yeah. So we get the item back again, opened. I'm gonna probably be able to sell this as like new other condition because the DVD set thing is still sealed,
Right.
but the box is not sealed. They opened
Yeah.
the book and the syllabus and all that stuff, so I'm gonna have to sell that as.
Do you notice people who ask more nitpicky questions are more likely to return?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Yeah, whenever you get somebody, especially I find the people that are messaging you, trying to lowball you through Messenger,
Yeah.
they want to find something to complain about the item on the back end
Yeah.
in order to try to get even a
Bigger discount.
bigger
later.
discount later.
Especially, you have to be careful with how you respond because they will hold that against you when
Correct.
they get the item. So
Correct.
if you misspeak about the item, it's almost like that's their game.
Yeah.
All right, I got them. Now I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to say, well, you said, and get more money back.
So again, when we filed the return on this one, I put item opened,
Right.
and I think I also said I do not agree with the reason of the
Right.
return, or at least I should have. I might not have. I think I might have just put item opened,
Okay.
and I should have put as well disagree with the reason of the
Right.
return.
But you did tell them, like,
But I did say
in the
in the description, I first of all I shared pictures of the item being opened,
right.
so that they could see that the conditions not in which we sent them
sent
to the person.
Yeah.
And then I also explained that, and I took a picture of that little column. Like when the
Yeah.
buyer reached out to me, I said see picture
Right.
5 or whatever, which was the same as picture 2 in this situation, to show them exactly what was all included in this
Right.
particular set,
Yeah.
so that they can make the right decision for what they need. And they had the case. So I sent them half a refund. So I
Right.
deducted half the
Cost.
cost of this. They ended up opening up a case
Yeah.
fairly shortly after that, which I expected at this point.
Yeah.
and eBay closed it, and they said they did not find us at fault.
Right.
But I think they decided to refund the buyer
Just
as well.
to make them quiet.
Okay, so the buyer ends up getting full.
Mm-hmm.
We get to keep half of the money. eBay ends up actually losing money on this particular
Yeah.
sale. We'll be able to resell this item, but I think the most important thing too is it's not going to damage our store
Yeah.
because we were not seen as at
At
fault.
yeah.
So I think these are little things that when you have a return, you ultimately really have to fight back.
Yeah, all of them.
For your store, yes.
Unless it was a mistake on your end, just give them the refund.
And the other aspect too is you have to give resistance to these people. We live in a return culture where everybody is looking for a reason to return items, and we are not Amazon.
No.
We are not designed to where, we're working in bulk.
Yeah.
We're getting, all this. That doesn't happen for us. Like, we're trying to pay bills.
We're a small business.
These are one-off items. Like, sometimes people are like, oh, this is damaged. Do you have another one? Like, I'm not sending you another one. Like, even if I had another one, I'm not sending you one because I don't trust you at this point.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, I think it will also help protect other
Right. You're
other
helping
sellers,
the whole
the selling community. Whenever you are disputing these people, like, it puts a ding on their account.
Yeah.
We've had situations too where we've put a ding on their account. They've had to research their history because I've seen it in their history where they've had, because you could see the feedback left for others.
Right.
And this person said on numerous occasions, issue with item, but buyer resolved quickly.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I wish I would have seen this before I sold to you, to this individual, but you sell so much, you can't look at everything.
Right.
So it's important that we report these buyers because then they can go and see what kind of history this person is, and this will help us get rid of some of these bad buyers on eBay, which I think is going to be crucial for our overall success as a community.
Yep.
Like, we can't have these items that are big dollar items getting used and then just refunding this person in full and then turning around and making half the money because they're an idiot buyer and they didn't look at the listing. So that's it. I think I feel a little ranty, but I feel a lot better.
A lot lighter.
I feel better. All right. So these two items I'll be listing today
Yeah.
to get back on in some capacity. But we do have 14 items going out. And so we will go over them now. And this is our first one of our blow up lot that we picked up. We paid $100 for a lot of probably like 10 blow ups. This is the first one we sold, $29.95 plus shipping.
And we haven't listed them all.
No, we haven't.
Just the small ones.
But the elf kissing the North Pole, it's a really cool one. The smaller ones I was able to blow up inside my house. It is just too hot to go outside to be listing these blow ups.
100.
It's going to be 99 degrees outside today, so I am not going outside to list blow ups today. It's not happening. Next up, we have God of Egypt. This is a Blu-ray, brand new sealed, and it comes with a slip cover. And for whatever reason, slip covers increase the value of Blu-rays. So be on the lookout, especially if you can find them sealed. What I find a lot with Blu-rays and stuff like that is if they have the slip cover, they're for whatever reason more likely to be sealed because people forget that it's still sealed and they won't price it. So this is one of those items that, if you see it out in the wild, it'll be sneaky, and they're sneaky good. $23 plus shipping on that, paid $1. And super easy to list and ship.
Wow, we have a lot of plush coming up.
So I'm going to go through a bunch of plush to get these out of the way because they're taking up all the space. SpongeBob, $4.95 plus shipping.
Why do we have that?
It was about to be delisted and done with. Next up, Peter Rabbit. This guy sold for $10 plus shipping.
I love selling plush. So easy to ship. Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
Even if they're big, it doesn't matter. It's great.
And last, a little plush lot. We have a bunch of Build-A-Bear, Marvel, 2 Spider-Man, and 1 Captain America. These plush, $26 plus shipping, sold via promoted listing.
They're very soft.
Yeah. But it's not a particularly good buy. They're just not, we're not making any money on those, sadly.
But they're out.
But they are gone. Next up, we have a Miller Lite. This hat has some damage to the bill, and I made sure to picture that fairly well. I'm just going to show you.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. And I'm sure you put it in the comments.
See that?
Yeah.
And then I'm just showing her the pictures so that she feels more confident shipping this due to the damage to it. That bill, $18 plus shipping, sold via promoted listing. It's not even branded. It just got a cool look, and I
Yeah.
think somebody's like, yeah, I'll do that. Next hat. This is, I think, a golf brand.
Brixton.
Brixton. Yeah. It's got like a cool little
That's
logo
nice.
on it. $11.32 plus shipping on that one.
Weird price. Must have been promoted.
They sent the offer. I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think it was because
by
with the
percentage.
shipping, it made it to like an even
even.
$18
Yeah,
or
okay.
something for them.
A rubber guy.
Next up, we sold. I'm just showing you. So if you're a wrestling fan, can you figure out who this is? This is one of the old classic LJN rubber wrestling figures. It is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. There you go. $9.95 plus shipping on that one. That was the lowest dollar value one that we had for those guys. Next up, we have a golf club. This is a CG12 Cleveland golf wedge. It did have like a decent amount of wear on the face, where they definitely played with it.
Yeah. They hit it.
It's not actually that bad, to be
Looks
honest
good.
with you. I think it looks worse in the picture, so
Well,
it's
that
one of
would be
those
great.
cases to where they're gonna really like it when they get it. $23 plus shipping. I think I paid $5 for it. I think
Yeah.
when I initially got it, I was expecting to get 40,
Oh.
and it just sat for a long time.
Yeah.
And at some point, you got to say, you know what?
Let's let it go.
Let's get rid of it. Next up, Barbie.
Got this at the 301.
And
Okay,
no, you
yeah.
got this not on the 301.
No, where was it? It was a long sale. It's Peachtree 23.
Peachtree 23.
Okay. This one, if you can get the United Colors of Benetton, like a set of them, they go for good money, but mine is single.
Yeah, and
She's
so that
alone.
single one sold for $28.45, sold via promoted listing, going to international.
Oh, yay. There's a lot of Barbies going international, like figurines.
Well, I think
and
it's just
stuff.
people collect them all over, and I would imagine too, and this is me just
Spitballing.
making some thought process
Let's
here, but
see.
people that lived in America and then moved away,
No,
and
I don't agree
they
with
want
that.
their
Nope, because
No.
I'm pretty sure these are Benetton sounds European to me. So they're getting their Barbies.
okay.
I don't know, honey. That theory, I'm not.
Century
not
helmet.
joining you.
This sold for $14.99 plus shipping.
Alrighty.
Next up, we have an Olympus digital camera, I think, with a charger. So we got a charger
Camera.
and tested, working, $29.95 plus shipping for
Olympus.
that little lot there. VHS sold. This is Tiger Claws. We've had this listed for a few months, and I got an offer for $8. Decided to go ahead and take it. $8 plus shipping.
Okay.
And the last one that we just sold was a hat restoration lot. It's a bunch of hats. I haven't picked them out yet because it's just a lot. So I'll go down
Are they
and do
not
that now.
already in a
Nope.
bin
Nope.
box?
Nope. $35 plus shipping.
Fuck.
They require some cleaning,
Yeah.
some stuff like
Some
that,
loving.
and they weren't going to be like, or they have damage.
Sell on your own, yeah.
And $35 plus shipping to get those
Alrighty.
out of it. So I'm happy with that. So.
So today, what are you doing?
Well, I'm obviously relisting some of those items. I still have, I was able to list the PS4 in a couple games that I needed to test over there. So I'm probably going to test more games, get those listed, and then get the PS3 listed. And then if I have time, which I should be able to go through and make some lots,
Blu-ray lots.
with Blu-rays, and then maybe even go into DVDs to make some
Okay.
lots.
Yeah.
So.
Good. I'm going to be shipping, and then we have swimming with friends. And I have to stop by the church and drop off my receipts for our refund. And then the boys are going to a fishing camp.
Yep.
And then we're dropping them off at Grandma and Grandpa's. Thank you.
And then,
So
yes.
that we can do his tooth appointment tomorrow.
Yes.
In Florida.
So, will not be here tomorrow.
No.
So,
See you Monday.
see you Monday.
We hope your garage sale weekend is a smash.
Yep. And stay cool out there, because it's.
Are your yard sales drying up?
Yeah.
Is it summer slowdown now?
No. Well, I think summer
It's so
slowdown
hot.
doesn't necessarily apply to
I don't know.
garage sales. We should still.
Pretty hot.
There should still be plenty of sales.
Okay, well, good.
But
We
with that
shall
being
see.
said, I think that is it
Yes,
for us.
thank you for joining us. We love reading your comments, so feel free to let us know if there's a question that you have about reselling so we can make some content on that, or anything in general.
Yep.
We
Take care,
appreciate
everybody.
you.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.